Hey guys, welcome back to the Passive Buddies podcast. And today's episode is possibly one of my favorite type of episodes because we get to geek out on marketing, which is super cool because marketing is basically what sells absolutely everything. So if you're struggling with your online business right now, if you're trying to do free methods, then this is definitely the podcast you want to listen to as we cover organic marketing hacks. Now, a guy who loves to stand out from the crowd and get lots of attention from his organic marketing is this guy right here, Brandon. You good?
Well, yeah, I'm amazing. I was expecting you to go, hey, when you open up, and you just said, hey, and I was a little taken back.
Mixing up.
Definitely. If you guys don't know, I look like Mr. Monopoly on Facebook and pretty much all my social media. There's a video of me throwing traffic secrets in the pool when everyone was selling it. So that got a lot of attention. So yeah, I definitely like to stand out of the crowd. I like to say that I'm a introvert who plays a great extrovert on TV because I definitely love staying at home. I don't like seeing people and going out, and I don't like big crowds. And so I like my online friends better than my offline friends. So yeah, I am a introvert that plays a good extrovert on TV.
Haven't you ordered tutu as well?
I do. I went to Burning Man actually, and that was a lot of fun. And I had all sorts of different outfits. One of them was a light up tutu that changed colors with the music, and then a light up vest that changed colors based on the music. So that, and I still have both of them. I don't think I have the tutu. I might have the tutu, but I do have the vest still. I think it was like $600.
For a vest.
Yeah.
So, but the reason obviously I bring the tutu up and stuff like that is obviously they have made it onto posts. Traffic Secrets was a great, what you've done when Traffic Secrets come out was incredible. And obviously you've done loads of different stuff like that. So one of the main things about like organic marketing and hacks and secrets is attracting attention, because it's attention that hooks people in, and that's why like newspapers spend most of their time and effort on headlines, is because they know 70% of headlines like sell the paper. And throwing that Traffic Secrets book and get on like wearing the tutu and wearing Mr. Monopoly, all of those things attract attention for people to well read your headline and then from there make those sales. So before we dive into more and more hacks, attention is possibly the biggest and the most important. How do you come up with ideas for grabbing attention? Now, for instance, let's go with the Traffic Secrets one, because that's probably one of your most famous ones. So talk me through the methodology for throwing Traffic Secrets in a pool.
Yeah, so it's funny because a lot of people were saying how great it was and how amazing things were. And typically, if you go against the grain on something, then you're going to have a mix of people that love it and then will hate it. I call it the Trump effect in a sense. I don't know if you guys know Trump, our ex-president. He typically said things to get people riled up. And in doing so, there's going to be people that are going to hate you, and there are going to be people that are going to love you. But people are going to talk about you. And that's the biggest thing, is people just talking about you. And in doing so, people are going to form their own opinions. They might see that one thing and hate it, but if they go through your feed and they see that, hey, this guy is actually pretty smart or knows his stuff, then I can learn to love him in a sense. So I call it the Trump effect. I don't know if that's a real terminology, but if you go against the grain on something, you're going to get a split audience in a sense. And that's kind of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, so you're standing out. So everybody, like, there was rave reviews when Traffic Secrets come out. It was all over the ClickFunnels group and like all those different things. And yeah, obviously there you go. Just hey, I'm just here throwing the book in the pool, and you just have this beautiful picturesque pool with Traffic Secrets just lying there. So as you say, the polarity of it attracted a lot of attention. You probably got a bit of hate. You probably got a bit of like love. No matter what you post, people are going to either love you or hate you anyway. So you may as well just go out a little bit more. For people who aren't as creative with that respect, like what Brandon done, let's break it down, was he took one of the hottest topics in online marketing at that period of time, and he jumped on that viral trend. Like traffic secrets were very viral. There was a lot of traffic. People were like trying to sell a book and obviously get lots of affiliate commissions. And he leveraged that traffic, all that traffic. And when people go to Google Trends and see what's trending, etc., people are doing the exact same sort of scenario. And he's leveraged all that attention that Traffic Secrets has got, and he brought a lot of eyeballs to himself. At that time, what were you selling?
Our face, I don't know actually. When was that? It was probably our Super Facebook tools still. I think it was our first rendition of it, or is the cloud version. And so I think that was our what I was selling at the time. And it's funny because most of my, I'm the Mr. Monopoly man. So I am typically doing things that are very passive. Like I was sitting at the pool. I typically am reading at the pool. And so I know that a lot of people were talking about it. So like you said, I just kind of went with going against the grain and hyping on the making it viral in a sense, and just throwing it in the pool because and I actually posted it in the Facebook group. You were saying I might've got a lot of, hey, yeah, I was kicked out of the ClickFunnels group, but again, a lot of, so I am banned from the ClickFunnels group, but I did get a lot of people talking about it, saying all sorts of nice things. So yeah, it's a great way to, don't throw books in the pool all the time. You can only do that a couple times in a span, but try and change it up. There's other things you can do to bring attention to you. That's why most people aren't going to be dressing up in a tutu with a light-up vest and a mask. A lot of people aren't going to look like Mr. Monopoly. It's funny because the reason I got Mr. Monopoly is from Taylor Welch. A very few years ago, before I was even in the marketing space, I saw him and he had a picture of him as Thor, and it really stood out to me. And I was just like, oh, that's really cool. I don't see anyone doing that. I just see people's faces all the time. And so when I got into the whole online space, I was like, whatever happened to that Thor guy? And I was researching and looking for him. And then I found it was Taylor Welch. And I actually had him on my podcast many moons ago. But from there, I was like, I need to do something like that because no one else is doing that. And so that's essentially why I created the persona of Mr. Monopoly, is because I was in the real estate space and I was an investor. So being able to stand out and doing things that are completely opposite of what everyone else is doing is going to bring attention to you.
Absolutely love it. And as you say, obviously that's one of the main things. Obviously, you need to grab, in any marketing, you need to grab attention. So finding different ways to stand out from the crowd, get a lot of views, etc. Obviously, in order to get right now, in terms of recording this podcast, getting a lot of views is grabbing attention on Reels, TikTok, short form content is getting a hell of a lot of views. And all the social platforms are really, really pushing that. I think I put a story post out yesterday or the day before. I hit virtually 20,000 views just on 48 hours of short form content. So within 2 days, I had 20,000 views, and obviously that's attracting attention, building audiences and stuff like that, which is allowing us to then obviously provide value, not and trust in the rest of the spiel that goes with it. What other organic marketing hacks do you have? What do you think?
So off the cusp, I would say that one, I call it the organic bump post. Typically, a lot of our posts on Facebook or Instagram typically get kind of built upon. So if you have a deck of cards, in a sense, your card that gets put on the Facebook feed is then stacked against other cards. So they're constantly being pushed down. And so what you can do is, if you have a post that did really, really well, say a year ago, you can literally just comment to a few people and then it'll bring that back up to the top of the deck. And so that's one of the tactics I use. I have some great content from last year. This year I've been a little bit more lazy of building out more of the long form posts on my Facebook. And so going through those, I was like, oh, that's really good. I forgot I wrote so good. And so I'll just comment on a few posts and I'll bring it to the top, and then people will comment on that. So it's kind of like a Facebook currency, is I think what some people call it also, is you have these great posts that you keep a few people that you didn't respond to, and then you respond to them, and it brings that post back to the feed. And since it did get a lot of organic comments and engagement previously, it will stand out more to other people, and then more people will comment, and then you can just use that as a way to create content without ever having to create content again, in a sense.
Yeah, so like what Brandon's talking about is like whether it's long form or like the color posts. If you've checked out Facebook, the color posts are always there. And I use the color post for bait posts. What I call a bait post is basically a post that asks people to basically ask for help, and then we manage the comments in a certain way. Now, it's the comment management more than the post that is actually the most important, which is what Brandon's touching on. So by finishing your post on a question, you then subconsciously like give them the permission to comment on your post and answer that question. From there, that can spark conversations that can generate leads from that post for days and days. Obviously, Brandon's gone back years and adding a comment and stuff like that. That's generating leads, and repurposing that content consistently by managing the comment section in Facebook, Instagram, anywhere where it's like a physical post, and then if you put the comments in, it tricks the algorithm to thinking it's engaged, it's hot, people are looking at it, so it gets shown to more people again. So because typically what Facebook posts, the general viewership of a post lasts about 4 hours. Yeah. And then it's gone out of the news feed. It's disappeared. But if you can manage those comments and don't hit all the comments all at once. I typically, if I'm using a bait post, I'll wait an hour from the last engagement, and then I'll reply to someone. I'll always finish on a question, and then this again encourages that person to respond, which means I get to wait another hour, and then another hour, and then you keep that going for more people in your feed to see that post. And the more comments it has, the more likes, it then looks as a more established post, and people pay even more attention to the more established post as well, because people are like, well, why are so many people looking at it? Why are so many people liking? Why are so many people commenting? And 9 times out of 10, it's you having a conversation with a select few people that is then allowing you to get more and more views from the like bumping that post.
Yeah, and you call it a bait post, but which is a great way to get engagement and get people to interact with your post. But my next organic strategy is actually called the raise hand post, which is your bait post. So essentially someone is your, but I'm doing it a little bit different. So you'll make a post saying who needs help with organic marketing, right? Or who wants to start a side hustle that makes $10,000 a month, whatever that is. And people will raise their hand and say, oh, I need help with this or that. I'll actually go look for those people that have already done the work. So you've already brought all the people to you, and they said they needed help. I'll go and add all those people to my friends list. And because you've already kind of cultivated all the people that need that help, and I can just add them as a friend. And now I know they already need help. So I can kind of just steal them away. And I call it the raising hand swipe, because I'm swiping those people that already raised their hand for something to my friends list, and now I can provide value to them. And so that's a great way to kind of just get people that are already in the market, in a sense, to now look at my stuff. And for me, I think of Facebook as a game, in a sense, because what you really want to do to dominate someone's feed is have these points. So the more points you can have with someone, the more they're going to see your content. So if these people are already engaging, they're going to more likely engage in my content. And if I send them using, like, say, our super Facebook tools to send them a message and they respond to that, then that's another point. And then if we have longer conversations, those are more points being added up. And then if I comment on their post and they comment on mine, then that's more points. So the more points you can have with people in the Facebooks, you're going to dominate their feed because your content is going to be shown first because it's relative to them. And so if your content is relative to them, then they're more likely to buy. And so that's what we're trying to do on Facebook, is create these point systems in a sense, by having people engage with our content, you engaging with theirs, so that they see your content more. So having a post, like you said, where it's a bait post, that is ultimately going to get a lot of points built up, one, in your feed because your content is relevant, but you're adding points to kind of their system, where your content is relevant to them. And so the more comments, the more times that they comment on your post, they're going to see your future content much more often.
Definitely. And I absolutely love that. So not only have we got like obviously the bump scenario in your own comments, then obviously I've talked about bait posts, people call them two-step posts, and that can attract a lot of leads very quickly. Brandon then comes in with this cute little software, scrapes all of those people who have liked and commented with his software automatically, and then starts adding them as a friend because obviously they've shown interest in a specific thing that you either provide or sell. Now, it's not robbing leads, it's not unethical. Like, it's a case of just building up your network. Some people will raise their hand and comment on people's stuff, but will never ever buy from them. But they might resonate with Brandon better, or they might resonate with yourself better, or me better, and they will potentially look at the system, and the service that you provide. So by adding people who engage on other people's posts, you're adding someone who engages, so it's not a dead profile. Right. You are getting someone who's interested in the similar stuff, and then you've also got an opportunity to build a relationship and best serve them. So definitely, if you don't want to, like, especially if you see people with like 100 comments, like 100 likes, etc., you don't want to manually go and add them. Use Brandon's software that will put in a link, and it'll literally scrape that data and add them for you, so you don't even have to do that process. So we're starting to make it a little bit more automated. We're hacking the system to make it easier to do.
Yep. And that is a great way to get people that engage. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't engage, that will just do a little heart or a little thumbs up, and that's kind of lazy. So you want those people that definitely do engage with people's content, because it's just going to push your content further. So another tactic that I like to use is similar to the raise hand swipe, but it's called the ad swipe. And essentially, when you see an ad that is targeted to you, it's typically targeted to, whatever you're doing. And you're going to have similar people that are going to be like you in these ads. So I go through the comments, and if people raise their hand, I just add them as a friend also.
Love it. Okay, so we're looking at different places where, because it's the engaged community you want, is it's not just any friend, it's not any Tom, Dick, or Harry. It's the engaged community that will then provide value to your feed, your Facebook journey or Instagram journey, and then adding those people, following those people, and then from there you're building up obviously more opportunity for your post to get seen, because if you engage there, they may engage with you. If they engage with you, then more people are seeing it, which gives it the extra boost that it needs. So finding those places, like when people join a group and they they all comment on the welcome post, there's a great place. There's a great place to add people, because obviously they're active, they want to join the communities. So people, if you're looking to grow your group members, that's what I'd take him. Add people that are commenting, looking to buy something, so the buyer intent's higher, so go grab that. Bait posts, people are raising hands saying they've got an issue, go and grab those comments, go grab those friends. And then from there, you're building up a list of different people who can service your whole journey.
Yeah. And you have to think that I can't think of what it's called right now. It's an outdated system, but it still applies, where they got rid of, in Facebook, they got rid of it, but it's essentially your content gets shown to your most engaged people first. And if those people engage, it then shows it further out, and it continues to go further out until it goes viral, obviously. And so if you can get those people that are more engaged in your content, that you can add them as a friend because they're engaging on other people's content. You send them a friend request, you comment with them, you message them. All those get shown to, it shows that they're really relevant to your content. So they're more likely to comment on your post. And the more people that comment, the more it goes out into your sphere. And then it gets shown to more people, and then it becomes a flywheel. So it's important to have the kind of like your circle of friends, in a sense, that are really engaged, because they might not buy from you, but their engagement could push your content out to people that are actually interested in buying from you.
Most definitely. And as you say, like, getting through that system, obviously getting through those people and getting more eyeballs, because that's what we said right at the start of the podcast, wasn't it? It's more eyeballs. You want more eyeballs on it, and then that will eventually obviously bring you more and more sales. Do you have any other hacks in your back pocket?
Yeah, so you called it a bait post, and it's a two-step essentially, but essentially it's you're giving something away from free, and they raise their hand, and then you can start that conversation or sell them. So it's a similar thing where you're doing, I think it's pretty much the same thing. Instead of asking for help, you're giving something away for free. And in doing so, you say, comment down below, they comment, and then you message them. So that's 2 points in a sense. And so then it just allows you to then engage with them. And then what I do is I'll wait, just like you said, like an hour or so until that engagement kind of cool down. And then I'll say like, oh, I sent you a message. And so that ignites the algorithm. And so more people will see it. And so in doing so, you're not commenting right away, but you're already commenting, or you're already talking to the person. And so then if they see it, then they might respond saying, oh, I got it, or something like that. So it just allows you to get more engagement and allows you to get more just views on your stuff. I think that the biggest thing that, and if you can take anything away from this, I would say engagement. Well, I guess now Facebook has their bonus program where you can make money with reels and views and that sort of thing to keep people on the platform. But people need to ask for money. I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of beginning marketers don't do, is they create all this content, they give all this stuff away from free, and then they expect people just to click on a link and then buy from them and then have all this and then make money. But you need to ask, like, are you ready to join my program? Like, and follow up with people. I think that's the biggest thing. That's why we have a Facebook CRM tool, so that we can easily follow up with people, because the money is in the follow-up. And if you are not following up with people and you're not asking for the money, people aren't going to give it to you. I think a lot of people are used to a 9-to-5 kind of lifestyle where they're handed a paycheck and then they're like, good job for the week, and tap on the head, versus actually asking for that money. So I think that's very important. That's how I've been so successful, is to ask for the money.
Yeah, and I think that it's a very valid point, isn't it? Because when you're bred into this 9-to-5 system, we're not, the biggest thing we ask for is a holiday. And even then, half of the time it gets rejected. So at this point, it's a case of getting rid of that fear of rejection. If people say no, and that's okay. There's billions of people on Facebook. There's billions of people on TikTok. Like, there's going to be more than one person. It's not like a boss who says no and that's it. That's the end of the whole dream. You can just go and ask someone else. Go and ask someone else. Go and ask someone else. Once you've built that relationship, don't be a spammy Steve. But once you've built up that relationship, you can keep on going, and there's plenty of leads out there, guys. There's plenty of money circling around. You just need to find the right person. Don't be scared of asking for the money, getting shot down, and then just move to the next person.
And then asking them 2 weeks later. Like, just because a no today does not mean a no in 2 weeks. I mean, I follow up with people all the time and they say no all the time. And then I say, hey, are you interested now? And they say, yes, I am actually. And then they sign up. So it's just because someone says no the first time does not mean they're going to say no in 2 weeks or whatever, because they've seen more content of yours. They've built a better relationship with you. They actually now need your thing because they've done all the other things. So remember to follow up with the same people. Just because they say no once doesn't mean they're going to say no again.
100%, mate. I think that's a great way to round this one off.
I think this was great.
Absolutely perfect, guys. If you've loved it, please like, subscribe, follow whatever platform you're on. We really do appreciate it. Massively helps the podcast get to more people like you to help out. And we will see you on the next one.
Peace.